Today I am going to have an interview with ChatGPT on the topic of the future of work, remote jobs. So let's move towards ChatGPT. Hello Albert, how are you today?
Hello, I'm doing well, thank you. Umair, how's your morning going so far?
My day is going great too. I would like to take your interview on the topic of the future of work, remote jobs.
Ooh, that sounds interesting. Uh, what would you like to know specifically, Umair? Is it about how remote jobs are changing or how to find them or something else?
My first question to you is why does the term remote work mean and how has it
Remote
changed the way people work?
Right. Remote work basically means doing your job from outside a traditional office, usually from home or a co working space, using digital tools to stay connected. Essentially, you're not tied to a specific geographical location to do that job, to be in that role. And it's changed the way people work by making location less important and flexibility more important. So many people can collaborate across countries and time zones now. It's also shifted how companies think about productivity and trust, less about sort of clock watching and more on what's produced, what they actually do, rather than the hours spent at a desk.
My next question is why have remote jobs become so popular in recent years?
Because of better tech with faster internet, cloud platforms, collaborative apps. It's made it easier to work together from different places. So, as a result of that, workers started to expect more flexibility. If a role doesn't offer remote options, it can sometimes be a bit of a turnoff.
What are the biggest advantages of working remotely for employees?
Well, the main one is flexibility, I would say. So you can shape your schedule around your life, which means for some people, childcare, or if you do a lot of creative work and you feel more creative in the evening, you can work those hours. There's obviously a time and, and money and stress saving because you're not commuting. Many people find they can be more productive, they have more control, and a better work life balance. Of course, it's not all perfect. Some people miss the office buzz, and there's the that blurred boundary between work and home. But for most people, that flexibility tops the list.
What benefits do companies gain by allowing employees to work remotely?
Companies can widen their talent pool because they're not limited to the people who live in a specific geographical area. It can reduce overhead costs, office space, utilities, that kind of thing. And it's often reported that remote work can lead to higher productivity and retention because employees stay if they like that flexibility. So it can be a real attraction. Also, companies can sometimes then make money through rethinking how they use their office space. It also makes them more resilient during local disruptions, like if you have extreme weather or transport strikes, that kind of thing doesn't shut them down in the same way.
What are some of the biggest challenges people face while working from home?
Right. I think isolation can be a big one. There's a blurred line between your work and home distractions, maybe even a career visibility worry, because people think if they're not in the office, Do they miss out on stuff? Collaboration can sometimes feel slower when you don't bump into people in person. And I found that some remote employees feel like their work isn't as recognized as people who are actually physically in the office. So that connection and sense of the company needs to be nurtured and cared for. So yeah, it's a balance. It's not all perfect.
How can remote workers stay productive and avoid distractions?
Well, structure helps. Having a start and an end time. A dedicated workspace can be brilliant to delineate that difference between home and work. I think minimizing a digital distraction, batch checking emails, so you're not dipping in and out all day. Setting clear goals for the day keeps people on track. And I find regular short breaks help avoid burnout. Communication is key. So check ins with your team, your managers, so everyone knows what's expected and you have that connection. It's less micromanaging and more about trust and clarity.
What skills are most important for someone who wants to succeed in a remote job?
Yeah, great follow up. Let's have a think. Self discipline has to be near the top. Digital literacy. So, for example, being comfortable with collaboration tools like Slack or Trello or Zoom. Communication is vital because you need to be clear and concise in a remote setting. Time management, that is super important. Balancing tasks without a manager looking over your shoulder. I'd also say adaptability because tools and processes can change quite quickly. But honestly, soft skills, things like proactiveness, reliability, showing initiative, that can be what sets people apart. And by the way, those skills translate really well across different roles and different industries.
How important are communication and collaboration in a remote work environment?
Very. Without them, remote work just doesn't work. Clear communication prevents, um, let me think, misunderstandings and keeps expectations aligned, while collaboration is about the sharing of documents, decisions, and responsibilities. It keeps projects from drifting off track. In a remote setup, they basically replace the casual office conversations you'd normally have to know what's going on. Teams that invest in those habits, regular updates, transparent workflows, shared goals, they tend to perform much better. So it's less about control and more about connection, if that makes sense.
What tools and technologies are commonly used by remote teams?
Sure, I can tell you that.
And my last question is, what are your top five practical tips for anyone who
Okay.
wants to build a successful and rewarding remote career?
Let me think. Communication wise. Okay, let's go. One, master communication and meetings. Two, learn at least one project management tool, Trello, Asana, or ClickUp, something like that. Three, create a consistent routine. Sounds boring, but it really helps. Keep learning these kind of tech skills and also soft skills. Build your network and your personal brand. So, like being active on LinkedIn or attend virtual events or share what you know. A lot of remote opportunities come through relationships. And finally, focus on results, not hours. Deliver quality work consistently, be someone your team can rely on. Follow those 5 principles, and you'll be giving yourself the best shot at a rewarding remote career. And thank you for the interview, Imad. It's been a pleasure discussing the future of remote work with you. Now, good luck with the podcast.
Thank you so much, Albert.
You're welcome, Umair. Speak soon.
So that will be all for today's session. I hope you liked my interview with ChatGPT. Don't forget to subscribe my channel. Allah Hafiz.